You've collected assets for a lifetime, and now you want to make sure they pass to your spouse, relatives, kids, friends, neighbors, maybe even community, church, synagogue. How do you do and when do you start your estate planning? That is a great big question, and I'm here with financial advisor Robb Rothrock. He's the founder of the Rothrock Financial Group. Let's ask him. Robb, when do you actually start talking about estate planning with folks? And is this a fun conversation to get kicked off?
No, but it's critical, and it's really near and dear to my heart. And the answer is, in my opinion, there really isn't any adult that doesn't need some form of an estate plan. And this doesn't have to be a complicated set of financial documents. It might be a lot, but it could be something as simple as starting with having powers of attorney. Those are very important. I had an attorney tell me one time that every single one of us is going to reach a point in our life where we become incapacitated and are unable to make decisions for ourselves. For some of us, it happens in the moment that we pass away. For others, it might happen months or even years before we pass away. And who's going to make decisions? So if I've saved this large pile of money, but no one knows where it is, then what good is it? And so you have to have a trusted person that can make decisions with that when you no longer can. And not only that, it's important that they know about it, that they know where these documents are. If it's in a safe deposit box, do they know where the key is? Do they know that what bank the box is at? So it's very important. And powers of attorney for both financial decisions and healthcare decisions are critically important for anybody, and they don't really cost that much. We can help coordinate that with the service that we use and get that done. And people, again, when I bring it up, most of the time people say, yeah, we do need some help with that. And then it's easy to just never get around to it. So it's my job to make sure that they do get around to it.
I'm going to even go back where we're going to end more on powers of attorney tools as a quick review at the end. What do people need? Let's just go with wills. When people walk into your office for the first time, how many people don't have either an updated will or a will at all?
Well, I'd say about 50-50.
Okay.
But about 100% of the time, it's not updated. I mean, it was done 25 years ago, so that's important to update. Yes, and again, that's a relatively easy document to get done. And you're talking about your own death. Let's say what it is, and that's a hard conversation, and people don't want to have it. But there's also something to be said for let's get this done and move on and know that it's over with.
Yeah. So from the will, the one thing about a will, though, I keep hearing about probate, that it's public. What does that mean, public? Is this announced in the newspapers?
Well, in Texas at least, I mean, probate is a public process, and so here's where it can get dicey. So let's say that someone has a 401k, and you can name a beneficiary on an account like that, but some people do it the lazy way and they just put payable to the estate. Well, guess what? That's going to end up in front of a probate judge, and those cases are filed in public record. So anybody that's searching can find it, and if there are creditors involved, they're likely going to show up at that probate hearing. And so in other words, that money is going to go, the judge is going to have to determine who gets paid, and if there's a creditor that shows up, they're going to get paid first, whereas if beneficiaries are named, it'll go right to them, and that's an important distinction. And that can just be I'll just do it later. And so not just with wills, but people that have had 401ks for a long time, and they haven't looked at the beneficiaries in 20 years. And maybe somebody's passed away that was a beneficiary, or maybe something's changed. So
maybe they've gone through a divorce.
Oh gosh, thank you. I knew. Yeah, that's huge.
I knew. I had a feeling you were looking for something.
You're right.
There.
That's a big one. That's probably the number one change. Yeah, that is the number one.
You might
change.
have an ex-spouse on there, or children now in a blended family that you've left off accidentally.
Right.
So there's not only reviewing your beneficiary designations, but with less than a minute or so here, I wanted to ask you, at what threshold do you think somebody needs to have something like a trust beyond a will?
It might depend on, and I've seen this, it might depend on, you might have one beneficiary that you don't want to inherit a pile of money. A trust can solve that by giving it to them over in an income stream. And you might have two kids where one of them you can trust with a lump sum and one you can't. So a trust would be the right document for a living trust, which is not a super complicated document, or also for real assets like real estate, cars, boats, things like that, where you can't name a beneficiary. You can use a trust for that, so that, again, it bypasses probate, it's faster, and it can go straight to the named parties in that trust.
For somebody to come in and talk to you about estate planning as a financial advisor, is there a cost for you? Because I know sometimes sitting down, even with an estate planning attorney for the first half hour, they're going to charge for that time. Can you do this review?
We can do a review, because again, I'm not an attorney, but I know what to ask to find out where they're at and to see if, and most of the time they do need to schedule. We with the service that we use, we can refer them out.
Mm-hmm.
It's fairly inexpensive for them. They might be surprised, oh wow, that's all it costs, and then they can get it done. And we can help coordinate that and then review that every year when we talk to them in the future. So again, things change. Let's make sure that those are up to date.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. When should you start your estate planning? A lot sooner than you think. If you have a family, if you have kids, if you have stuff, you should be doing an estate plan. And that can include a will, reviewing your beneficiary designations, and then seeing what protections we want for later in life. It's about protecting your family. So if you want to get started on your own, no-cost estate plan review, call the phone number right now on the bottom of the screen, or you can schedule your own time right now at rothrockfg.com. Thanks for watching.